Showtime.
Welcome back to SNN War, where we cover all the anime episodes that have happened this week that we think are worth it.
Yeah.
Actually, we try and bring you different episodes every week. Today, I'm here with my boy, Deontay the Giant. Will may be hopping in later on if he gets home. If not, we're going to put it down ourselves.
Sounds good.
We're going to run things a little bit different today. Deontay and I have a little bit of news that we're going to go over. So we're going to talk about, some anime things that are coming up soon. And then we'll get into some reviews. So what you got to say, Deontay? What's the news that we need to know about?
Well, it's just hit my feed the other day. It's April 2024 is the date that we are all looking forward to. That is the beginning of season 4, the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc. So that has been announced. Crunchyroll is once again picking that up and streaming it for everybody. I'm pretty excited for it. It's supposed to be a pretty short arc. And then we're supposed to get into either Infinity Castle or one more arc before that. But I heard rumors that Infinity Castle is supposed to be completely separated, so it's not season 4 at all. But rumors might not be true.
Who knows? We never know what we're going to see. They always bring us something good, though, don't they?
They sure do. Ufotable just can't miss with their animation. Unless you count the fish.
That fish was pretty bad. Didn't you say something about My Hero Academia too?
Oh yeah, My Hero Academia is coming back for season 7, spring 2024, and I believe, depending on which source you use, some people are saying that's April 2024 as well. I've heard one person mention that it might be March 2024 because My Hero Academia has had a reputation of debuting in March in the United States. So,
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I saw that somewhere as well, but with all the fake news running around out there, sometimes you get somebody that posts something that tries to look professional and has a date on it, then you find out later that it was wrong. So,
like, man, don't even toy with us like that. Just give us the information when you get it. Give us the solid information.
That's what we want. That is what we want. We want to know what's good, and we want to know when we got it. So, why put out fake shit? Who are you trying to impress?
Right, you're trying to get first dibs on something that's not even true and makes you look even worse.
Oh man, so did you kind of news? I don't know if it's just somebody talking shit, but our buddy Mike posted in the chat today something about Gege Akutami wants to prove shonen fans wrong by killing all the main characters in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Man, I watched the current episode today, and I'm just like, man, we're really down to Yuji and Toto, and it's just like, and then after I got to a certain part, I'm just like, wow, for real, like we're gonna lose Toto too, and this meme makes sense in more ways than one, and it's just like, even if it is true, it's like, God, man, what point are you trying to prove?
Right. The 4 characters that it had on there were, of course, Nobara, Yuji, Gojo, and Megami. And, we already lost 2 of them.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going to happen with Megami. Like, and I'm not going to go into it because we don't know who's not a manga fan or not. But let's just say Megami's future is up in the air at the moment. So yeah, man, like he just trying to kill everybody off.
Yeah, it's like from what I heard from other manga readers is that Nobara's future is up in the air too.
Well, I always felt like in the manga that it was pretty well sealed. Like it made you feel like she died, but in the anime, they had old boy that was with Nanami say that there was a chance that she could live. He said it's a small chance, but there's a chance. So that's where that's coming from, that her future's up in the air, because that's the only place it's ever been that they've ever said that. So, I mean, I guess it could be up in the air, but I pretty much thought she was sealed.
Yeah.
You know?
And Gege Akutami is around like Will's age, and it's just like to be a young author of a very popular series, and you're already defying almost every law of shonen possible, and it's just like
I'd say pretty much right now it kind of follows along, because I mean we just lost the mentor, Jiraiya. I mean, not Jiraiya. Which one was it this time? You know,
Gojo.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, man? It like absolutely they all follow like this series of tropes. So I mean, I'm not mad at it, but I that's why I was like, you know, if he wanted to do something, you know, out of the box, he would have left Gojo alive. He would have let, you know, he would have, you know, but that's not the way he chose to go with it. I don't know. Maybe he is going to have Sukuna come out on top, you know?
Yeah, Will would love that. So
Will would. I have a feeling he's going to get picture, you know, tattoo of Sukuna somewhere on him, and underneath it's going to be a ribbon and say Will Heart Sukuna. You
know? My boyfriend forever.
Yeah. It's going to be my Valentine. My bloody Valentine.
My cursed daddy.
Oh, damn.
He is going to hate this stream.
we aren't going to tell him we did that.
Yeah, we'll tell him, guys. We'll tell
him. For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's something else that, like, I'm just going to bring up as news. Like, did everybody see that the fourth trailer for Solo Leveling dropped this week? And that was bad. Finally, I'm not going to lie. I didn't read the manga, but like Will was talking about, there was some of the bigger guys in it that were in the trailer.
Yeah,
like people that he didn't think, or the Monarchs. That's it. Like, we're not supposed to see them till later, are we?
They're like, me and Will, like reading through the manhwa, we waited a long time before we finally met the rest of the Monarchs. And so that was very interesting that they're already in the trailer. There was at least 2 or 3 of them, I believe. I have to go back and watch to make sure, but the long red haired guy is the Dragon Monarch, and he's supposed to be the strongest of them all. So he's like somewhat Sung Jin Woo's equal, and Sung Jin Woo is like the Shadow Monarch, and those two are like apocalyptic level strong. And but Sung Jin Woo trains to get to where he is, and Dragon Monarch is just, I've been around since the beginning of time, and it's like, God, we're all expecting that epic battle scene at the very end of the series.
Right. I'm expecting a lot from it, man. You guys have hyped me up for like 2 years about this show. Like, oh man, it's getting an anime. Oh, and I thought, like, am I gonna go read the manhwa? And I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just wait. I've got series that I read, but I'm not trying. I'm doing more with anime nowadays, so I figured I'd just wait and be anime only with it and come at it from, like, I'm going to get your perspective and Will's perspective as people that read the manhwa. So I'm going to definitely hear where it's different, but I'll have a fresh take on it.
Yeah.
So I've never seen anything about it other than listening to you guys talk.
Yeah, the source material was definitely very popular for a little while. I think that's one of the only documents that I've read or stories that I've read besides One Piece and JJK up until Shibuya arc. So I'm pretty excited. I'm fully spun up on this series, and anything that they do that's inaccurate, as long as it makes sense and it looks good, I'll let it slide.
I can understand that. Sometimes when you love them that much, you got to make concessions. You
Right.
know, I yeah, I did that with The Witcher for the first season. I was like, I like it so. I like The Witcher so much, and I'll go ahead and take this. I know it's not right, but I like it, so I'll go ahead and take it.
Right.
And then we got season 2.
Yep. I think 3 and 4, didn't we?
Fuck The Witcher. from season 2 on, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch, but I'm gonna complain the whole time. And I have. I never. I I'm usually not, like I said, I don't care when they deviate from the books for the most part. It doesn't bother me. I live because of Marvel and DC. I live in a headspace that accepts that multiple realities exist and that this retelling of this story can be a little bit different. Case in point, the One Piece live action was not
Mhm.
exactly a retelling of the One Piece anime or manga. I mean, anime is manga frame for frame, pretty much, aside
Yeah.
from the filler bullshit. But the live action was completely different. It was not completely different, but you get what I'm saying. There were
Yeah.
several places where they rewrote, put things in different spots, had more or less characters here, had these people there that weren't supposed to be there, so they could include the same characters in the whole story, but it was done well. So the retelling didn't bother me at all. Like, but The Witcher was bad.
Yeah.
The Witcher was really bad, and we only got 3 seasons of it. The third season just finished up, and it was Henry Cavill's last season. So we get a Hemsworth brother in the next one, Liam, I think it is.
Yeah, taking over for as Geralt, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know really though. I'll never watch it.
Yeah. It makes me
I,
not want to start the series at all now.
I'm it. Man, you know how on top five last night we went over like worst sequels.
Hmm.
That's season 2, 3, and everything else after season 1 of The Witcher should have been on that one of those lists. So, because the
Yeah.
first season was good and people were excited because it wasn't exactly right, but it wasn't exactly wrong either. It was good. It was well done. Uh, the fight scenes made sense. The choreography was amazing. The stories were put it back into order in a way that they allowed them to go from one to the next, which the books don't generally do.
Yeah.
So the books are written kind of like anthologies. Hey, what's up? Who do you know who that is?
I believe that's Willie. I need to get inside that video and see what's the dealio.
I feel you. I feel you. Uh,
Oh no, that's Blake. That is Blake Hickman. What up, bro?
what's up, Blake? Hey, I see. I hear it in your
Yeah, I
background.
got in the background my volume all the way up. Yeah, we're just talking anime.
Well, actually, we're talking The Witcher.
Yeah, we're talking The Witcher right now, but we'll get back to anime after Witcher.
Right, right. But actually, let's just go ahead and head back because I think we covered the news pretty well that we had. Do you have anything else to talk about?
That's all I had. Next Thursday we'll have something pretty stacked for you guys because there's been anime news dropping left and right. So we'll have something stacked for you guys next week.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, which review what do we want to start today?
Would you like to introduce the world to Dead Mount Death Play?
I absolutely would. The show that I'm reviewing this week is called Dead Mount Death Play, and it covers a person that goes by the name of Corpse God. Really doesn't ever, as far as I know, ever say his real name.
Yeah.
When what happens is that this is a reincarnation anime, so it's sort of like Isekai, but not exactly. The Corpse God knows that the his enemies are coming to kill him, and so he decides to reincarnate himself 1,000 years in the future, and that way his enemies won't be alive anymore, and he can go forward and continue with what he was doing. So this happens, and the spell goes off while him and the hero are fighting, because the hero is the one that comes to kill the Corpse God, of course, right?
Yeah.
Because he's called the Corpse God. He's evil, right? He has to be. So transport in time, 1,000 years in the future, and what we don't know is that apparently he gets reincarnated into somebody that just died. And what happens is that this guy Shiniyama, Polka is his first name, Polka, gets his throat cut by this girl with glasses, and we don't really know a lot of what's going on. And he dies and then reincarnates with the Corpse God in Polka's body. So Corpse God is exactly what he sounds like. He has like necromancy powers, spirit powers, and such. It's very much in the supernatural realm. We really don't know a whole lot about him, and we're into the second season already, and we're still just scratching the surface of what he can do, and what any of them can do. We don't really know. We have several groups of people in this. You've got Polka and his group that he picks up with a lot of people that are like in the criminal underground, and starts working with them. He's not a bad person, like being the Corpse God. You think he's a bad guy? He's not. But he starts working with
him. Yeah, they were stereotyping him.
Right. Well, I mean, I think they gave him the name Corpse God, so you'd be like, well, that guy's got to be bad, it's got corpse in it, right?
Yeah.
So, there's that group. You've got another group that's called the Firebugs. Firebug Safety. Oh man, let me look it up real quick, because
yeah, this is the key visual for the anime. It's Dead Mount Death Play Season 2. And I'm guessing the Corpse God is the one in the middle.
Yeah, that's him in the middle there. And on the side of him, you've got like the one in the back on the left, the redhead. Mm-hmm. That's one of the children of Sabramond. And there's like the two girls underneath her work with her. And that's another sorcerer that was alive back when he was the Corpse God and not Polka. So like 1,000 years ago. And they are one of the only remnants of the world that he was in before. So that's kind of interesting. Sabramond they were both court sorcerers for the same kingdom, but it makes it sound like maybe they didn't necessarily have the same goals, even though they were working for the same person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's one of those things where you got to strap in your seat belts and just watch it, and everything will just reveal itself through watching.
It definitely is. It definitely is. You've got a lot of things that go on in it. Like the one girl, her name's Misaki. He makes her into a zombie in the first episode. And so she starts helping him out. That was the assassin that killed him because she kept trying to kill him. And
Mhm.
he's like, look, just stop, just stop. And then he was like trying to restrain her and accidentally killed her. So then he's like, oh, I feel bad, and brought her back to life. Kind of. It I'm making it sound a lot more comedic than it actually was.
Man,
Uh, it Some of it is, it has its little bit of comedy in it, but it looks like it's definitely trying to be like horror mystery kind of anime, and it definitely fits that supernatural horror mystery genre. So, I not as much horror as mystery and supernatural, but it's like I said, it's an interesting time. In the newest episode,
mhm.
what happened is um, one of the people in his group that's staying at the place where he's at, he's got this. I think it's an old hotel that they are inhabiting, and I think they're just squatting. I'm not positive, but
Yeah.
uh, his Polka's actual sister comes to stay with them, and she has a bodyguard. And through something that happens, uh, he loses an arm, and so Polka, he hasn't done this with a lot of them, but he explains to him who he is, that he's been reincarnated and he's a sorcerer, and he's like, I want to. He goes, I like you, and I think we can get along, and so I'd like to give you a new arm. Can I do that? And he replaces his arm with the arm of a dragon. And so he's got like lightning powers and a dragon claw for a hand. So yeah, like I said, man,
Man.
it's kind of slow moving, and not like it's definitely not JJK. All right. There's a lot of other things going on, and there's the there's a police force that's investigating this whole thing. And like I said, there's a lot of details to it. Really, I'm just going to be done talking, except unless you have questions. But everyone should just go watch it.
Man.
Seriously,
This
it's
was
it's. Go ahead.
you can find it on Crunchyroll?
I believe it's on Crunchyroll. You know me, man. I watch, even when I've
Gotta
got it, I watch all my stuff on a pirate site because I got it all
yeah.
there together. I'm horrible, but I mean, I pay for all that stuff, but I don't like to go bouncing around for it, so I forget where they're at. But I do believe it is on Crunchyroll. But it's called Dead Mount Death Play. And if anybody forgets that, hit us up in the group on Facebook, and I'll tell you where to see it again. Because yeah, it's been really good. It was one that I didn't expect to be good, and it just came out of nowhere. And I was like, man, I love that. That's awesome. So
Man. Like I've been missing out, man. I'm actually behind on the anime that I do watch. I did watch Jujutsu Kaisen this week though, so I'm able to talk about something on the show. Will was supposed to be covering Eminence and Shadow, but he might not be able to make it because he's in Cape right now. So he'll have to
right.
trek all the way back to New Madrid just to get on the stream, and we'll probably be done with both of our reviews by the time he's back in the house. But
Well, I was thinking, I'm caught up on Eminence and Shadow too.
ooh,
So,
how did that latest episode go?
man, I'm gonna tell you, the latest episode was really good. There's been in season 2, and there's been 2 separate storylines that went on. You had like the first 5 or 6 episodes, 7 episodes were uh, he went to this place called the Lawless City and fought some vampires, and that was pretty bad. And you know it's a good time when the main character's name is Sid Kagano, and this is an isekai, in case anybody didn't know. And where he's transported, he's trying to be the guy in the shadows who takes care of the bad guys. He doesn't want he wants all of his entrances to be like poetic and flashy, and then he disappears and nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
So I find it hilarious how, like, you'll catch him, he's sitting there and he's writing poetry that he says, like, when he appears, like he's planning it.
Yeah, he's just writing a rap basically. He just
right. He's like, and the one it cracked me up when he came in today, and but then, like, it wouldn't be so cool if you made an entrance like that and talk shit,
man,
and you couldn't back it up. Let me tell you, Sid, Shadow, Shadow can back that shit up, dude. Let me tell you. He developed, like, I don't know, I don't think he had like extraordinary powers when he first started out, but he put a lot of time and effort into training himself and experimenting and finding things out and making himself powerful without letting anybody know. His sister is like one of the best swordsmen in the country, and she thinks that he's a buffoon. When truth be told, he can best her anytime he wants.
Damn.
Okay. He intentionally joins contests and then, trips over his own feet to make it look like he's a fool. It's hilarious. It's really fun the way he kind of plays his role. And sometimes he has no idea what's going on, and you see it. You hear him talking about it.
Yeah.
He's like, but I have to act cool and like I know what I'm doing. And so it's like, I don't know, man. You really feel for him, especially as someone that runs a business. Whenever you're talking to someone, a customer, you got to always sound like you know what you're talking about.
You have confidence in that. Yeah.
And as long as you got the confidence and you say it, this is the way it is, people will listen to you. Mm-hmm. And I mean, everything that, because it's my business, it comes from a spot of knowledge. But I mean, if I don't know something, obviously you tell people, but you say things with confidence and you will have a greater chance of people believing your bullshit.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And Sid's good at that. So the newest episode is finishing up the second part of the series of the season, where one of his what should I say? I don't want to say he kind of collects girls and has them working for him. Now he lets them do their own thing. He has taught them, and the thing he developed is this like liquid metal that he makes swords and clothes and everything out of. And when he makes a sword out of it, it just cuts right through other swords. So it's extremely sharp, extremely thin, while being strong as well. All the girls that he has working for him, they have their clothes made out of the same thing, because with a thought, they can make it look like whatever they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is an anime, so
yeah,
you got to have a little bit of that fan service.
Yeah.
And so the one girl is like a lolly, but she don't want to be a lolly. So she takes her suit and she makes it give her like, it moves like boobies, dude. It's hilarious, dude. I'm like, this is too much. Gosh, stop it. But I mean, it's like in 2 seasons, they've made 2 comments about her. So it's not like it's a lot, but it still was hilarious. I was just like,
Man, that is a hell of a culture, man.
It is, dude. It is. It is. But uh, one of the girls that he has met along the way, like some of these, like when the series starts, it shows him into he's getting ready to start. I think it's college that he's starting. And so he already has this harem made. It's really not a harem, and he has a name for it, and I can't think of it. But one of the girls that he's met along the way since it started is her name's Rose, and she was a princess. And it's we all know about it, like the chancellor or prime minister. That's what it was, the prime minister. By the way, you got to love how on the nose this show is, all right? The prime minister of this country that is poisoning the king. He's poisoning the king, fucking the queen, and is planning on murdering Rose. Then how it works out is after he finds out he has to marry Rose to get some artifact from her that only the bloodline can have while fucking the queen. But the king in the first season, like, he stood up and started to oppose Rose because he was being poisoned and mind controlled by the prime minister. By the way, I never did the name of the prime minister. His name's Perv Asshat. Did y'all hear that out there? Everybody, did you hear that? His name is Perv, Perv, Asshat. I feel like exactly how it's spelled.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've heard this before.
Yeah, I bet not. I'm sure that Will has told you, because that name is a little bit on the nose, okay?
Yeah. Perv and an asshat, damn.
Yeah. That's how you knew he was fucking the queen before we ever found out he was fucking the queen. Jesus God, Christ. Man. So in this one, because Rose had killed the king and ran off with Shadow, they had set things up and made it look like he had the queen kidnapped and held prisoner till Rose came back. So he got Rose to come back, and she was going to marry him so that he would free her mom. And then she took shit upon herself and basically was like, "No, I don't think so." And it exploded. And the guy that was running things behind Perv Asshat showed up and started. He's like, "Asshat, you fucked up." Freaking perv. And but he showed up and activated something and summoned this beast. This is supposed to be the ultimate beast, and it's something Ragnarok or Ragnarok something. I was like, okay, this is badass. I was like, now we just need Shadow to get here so we can see, what Shadow can actually do.
Yeah.
So then Shadow shows up, spits his 4-line poem out at him. And then he's like, "But what can you do? I have Ragnarok." And then about that time, you hear the of the sword swiping through, and Ragnarok's arm falls off. And I'm just like, damn, dog, you cut his arm off. Yeah. One swipe. And I'm like, all right. And then they said, catch us again next week when Shadow takes on Ragnarok. Ended it right after that.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's how it ended.
yeah, you were joking. There's definitely some heavy comedy influence within this show.
I'm making it a lot more comedic than it probably is, but there
Oh,
is definitely it is definitely comedic to me because to me the cheese is epic, but
oh,
it part of it is it's not trying to come off cheesy sometimes, and that's why it's cheesy. If that makes sense,
yeah,
he's believing his own bullshit in the show. He is really powerful, so he can take his time and spit poetry on the battlefield and
man,
think that's his, but that's his superhero entrance. Like he doesn't do the knee and the fist to the ground. He
yeah,
drops down and says some poetry, and I'm like, I love the show.
yeah. It's that perfect dosage of cheesiness. Kind of like the Power Rangers live action movie, the 30-year anniversary that came out this year.
Exactly,
It's that
exactly.
perfect dosage of cheesy.
That same kind of cheese. Like he has, and it's a lot of the things that are really funny in the show is he has told the girls that he's helped out, because most of them were uh like homeless or people were experimenting on them, and he saved them and gave them a place to belong and to be, took them in and taught them. And one of the things that he was teaching them was things about his old world. So he goes out one time, and the place where he's at looks like 1950s Japan. He's like,
Yeah,
how is this here?
which man,
And they're like, well, you explained it to us so many times. How could we not get it right? So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of references to stuff in it. You'll know, but and I'm just talking about like cultural things like of our times that you wouldn't
yeah,
expect to be in an anime with elves and beastkin,
right.
beast people. Because there's also Delta, who is she's a good dog. That's all there is to it. Delta's a good dog.
You said
She's
she's a good girl. Yeah, it's
yeah,
a good girl.
she's like I said, she's like a beast person, and she's
Hmm.
like a dog or a cat or something. Like it's. I don't think it's feline. I think it's more, uh,
Maybe like
like
a fox.
it's more like a dog. I think is what it's supposed to be.
Mm.
Her sense of smell is incredibly keen. So, and he scratches her head like you do a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Hmm.
man,
There's a lot to unpack with this series.
there's a lot to unpack with this series. But I mean, you can tell that it's like he has the harem of girls, right?
Hmm.
But he's not like none of them are girls that he's like trying to date or trying to figure out which one he's in love with or anything like that. They all call him master because he leads the organization that they are a part of. They are all a part of an organization called Shadow Garden. Uh, so that is they don't just follow him because they want to do because he saved him or anything.
Yeah.
Like he actually started this organization, and there's the cult of Diablos is the bad guys in it. And like when I said the guy that was behind Perv Asshat, Perv Asshat was trying to become, they call him the Knights of the Round, and he was supposed to become the 12th Knight of the Round. Perv Asshat was when he pulled this off. Well, he didn't pull it off, so he's not a Knight of the Round. But yeah, so like I said, there's comedy to it, but there's also seriousness, and it's just got a little bit of everything, man. It is really all over the place. The fight scenes when you're not it again, it's not Jujutsu Kaisen where it's like every episode is fight scenes. You know, you've got 2 minutes of the show that are not fight scenes going on in it, you know. That's not what this is. There is a lot of buildup, a lot of storyline going on behind the action going on, but the action's really good too. Nice. And the animation is on point. Like I said, the writing's great. The character development is really interesting because you see, just you learn a lot about them. You're learning the world and learning the characters, and you see the way he interacts with people. So you learn a lot about Sid too. Like real stand-up dude, you know what I mean? Like really good guy. You know, even though he wants to be that hard guy in the shadows, he really has a hard time doing it because he is a big softie.
Man, and that is the plot twist we all are looking for. It's like, there's always a catch to knowing a main character like that.
Yep. And like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch. Definitely something if you watch 4 or 5 episodes and it's not grabbing you, then maybe this one isn't for you. But if you watch a couple episodes and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool, you won't be able to stop. I haven't been able to stop. I love it.
Man,
I watch it every week. I'm so happy they're on to the second season already too. I really figured we'd have more time between the first and the second season, and it was like half a year. So,
yeah.
We got a horn out there.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us know.
Testing it out.
Hey, give me a second. I'm gonna close that window real quick. All right.
No problem. Yeah, that was Eminence and Shadow, guys. We sorry Will couldn't make it. Will's got to take care of some business. He'll be back next Thursday to cover whatever anime he's current on. But yeah, Eminence and Shadow was right up his alley. And he was also going to talk about a little bit of JJK as well. He usually saves that for as a topic or a segment on SNN late nights. But this past episode it's probably going to wind up breaking the internet if it hasn't already. But I don't hear much in the news feed about JJK breaking the internet besides the Maharaga fight with Sukuna. But every fight since then has been just as crazy as that. And it's like Toto and Yuji versus Mahito for the past 2 episodes. And oh my God.
Oh. Today was super sick, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I did not remember the way that this fight ended in the manga. I remember it happening and him saving Yuji, but I didn't remember the way it went down. So I was really interested in watching these last 2 episodes. And the butt clap last episode kind of got me. Them cheeks be flapping. I'm wondering what is Toto doing with his ass that them cheeks can clap like that?
We have a saying on TikTok. It's called recoil. Whenever them cheeks get to vibrating and wiggling at a certain speed, it just shakes naturally without you putting even that much oomph into it. It's just like, damn, Toto's been back there shaking that ass, and it comes natural to him. It can save lives. It can get him in and out of the combat zone. You name it.
He must have been twerking, practicing with the twerk recently to get that shit. But yeah, man, that was pretty epic. So what do you give us the rundown of what happened today?
Yeah, so we picked up right where we left off from last Thursday. It was a tag team match between Yuji and Toto versus Mahito. And man, Mahito is like one of the, how do I say this? This is like he's essentially like a true boss battle. Like before you move on to a bigger boss than him, you got to go through Mahito because Mahito is so hard to take down. He's a total menace, and God, he even had a trump card by the end of this episode that almost got the W over Yuji, but Yuji just wasn't going, and Toto came through clutch in the end as well. And it's like someone is saying it was life and death situation. He got to be prepared at all times. Absolutely, got to have them cheeks prepared. Toto lost one of his hands this episode, and he was able to just take the nub in his good hand and just clap it and give Yuji that one final switch to where he's in position to end the fight with Mahito for good. And I don't even think actually, yeah. So we didn't get a winner that episode, unfortunately. The episode ends where Mahito's crawling and begging for his life. Yuji's just like, I'm going to kill you, and no matter how many opportunities I get, I'm gonna send your ass to the gulag. And then while he's taking his sweet ass time to follow Mahito while he's trying to crawl away, Geto shows up. And Geto's like, would you like me to save you? And it's just like, oh, fuck. The villains really are going to win this shit. It's just like,
man, I had to say, the Shibuya arc never had like an uphill swing for the good guys. Like they made it out. You know, there's a lot of them that make it out alive, but it never was like a good day for them.
no.
Will in the comments said he reminded him of an Elden Ring boss.
Oh, what's up, Will?
Yeah, we got Will in the comments. He was the one that said it was a life and death situation. He got to be prepared at all times.
Got to have them ass cheeks in perfect symmetry so they can.
Yep. That's what I was wondering. Is like he got them ass slapping cheeks last episode.
Yeah.
This time he lost a hand. Why wouldn't he just like whoosh, whoosh,
make it clap again? Yeah.
Right. Like hell, if it works like that, make you know they got some like what's them inner thigh muscles. They can make them clap. You know. Oh wait, might squash some nuts though.
Yeah, it might crush the nuts.
Right.
Yeah,
he can smack himself across the face with one hand.
He's such a fool, man. And he was like, I got one more clap left in me, and he uses Mahito's hand to do it. And he's just like, it's like he's laying on the ground, like at one point in the scene, and he's like, yeah, I touched him, and this is what happened. His hand's like burnt up, disfigured, and whatnot. But Yuji was able to hold him off for a while, and Yuji got in like 2 or 3 different black fascists, and it was like put Mahito right at his limit. And I was like, damn, that's impressive.
Did you notice, like, were you paying attention to the commentary, the back and forth that they were having, Mahito and Yuji were having when they were fighting?
Oh, there were some things that I probably don't remember specifically, but I know for a fact the moment Yuji like put the final black flash on him, that back and forth between them two and Mahito crawling through like a winter forest, that was pretty interesting.
What I was speaking of is that Mahito makes comments that no one, like, black flash is something that just like builds up as you're going along, and then one of those times you connect, you bam, get that black flash when you hit him. Yeah, he did lose his technique after he hit Mahito's hands. He doesn't have his
Boogie Woogie anymore.
His Boogie Woogie anymore. But no, they were saying how you know no one cursed spirits or jujutsu sorcerers cannot make a black flash whenever they want to. Like you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to do a black flash right now," and then do a black flash. It's something that you got to build up, and it's supposed to be like it's like doing the 10th hit of a 10-hit combo on the old PlayStation controllers. You know what I mean? You got to build up that momentum, that fluidity, and then that last one's like, pow!
Yeah.
You know, that's how it's supposed to be. That's not what was happening with Yuji today.
He was pulling them black flashes out.
He was building up the energy, and he's like, I'm going to do a black flash now. And he'd hit him and do a black flash. He's like, I'm going to do another black flash. And he'd hit him and do a black flash. And that's what Mahito was like. He's like, it's almost, he goes, I know it's not possible, but it's almost like you're making these black flashes happen. But I know you can't. And so that, I had never, again, in the manga, I never caught that. So that is something that we have to, sitting here and just now, like right now thinking about it and what's going on in the manga, there's nobody else that can do that.
That makes Yuji super freaking dangerous.
The narrator said he was blessed by the sparks of black. Is that Will again?
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. He said it mentions in the manga also. But I didn't. They may have mentioned that he's blessed by the sparks of black, but they didn't talk. I don't remember them specifically talking about him being able to pull off the black flashes whenever he wanted to. I didn't feel like I understood that coming out of the conversation. And I have that problem sometimes when reading manga, that I don't read what I do. I don't get from it what I do when I watch an anime and I hear it coming out at that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like that adds a whole new level to Yuji's power that I never knew he had.
Yeah, Yuji, he looked like a total demon when he landed that final black flash. This is the first time he's looked like that this season.
He is definitely learning that he has to embrace the dark side.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, you can't be nice about it. You can't, you can't pull punches. Well, here's what it is. You can pull punches, but if you're going to pull your punches now, your friends are going to die later.
He understands.
And that's what happened to him.
Yeah. It's like everything will be okay. I'm just going to spare this crazy ass curse and then everything will be okay. No, it's not. Mahito's wiped out most of the people that came to get Gojo by himself.
I'm just saying, I do believe that he probably could have killed Mahito. Like, he should have been able to beat Mahito when him and Nanami had Mahito in the sewers.
Yeah.
They should have killed Mahito there.
For real. Like, it's crazy that he was able to escape and whatnot. And Yuji wasn't nearly as ready back then as he is now. But it's just like, damn.
But Nanami was still who he is. Nanami was still, he should have taken him out back then.
Yeah.
Because Mahito didn't have the power back then that he has right now either. Choso called Yuji a demon god?
Yeah. It's fair because he's running around with Sukuna in his soul, but man, Yuji's character development is happening right before our very eyes.
Power development, yeah.
Yeah,
well, character development too. I mean, watching him go through the pain of and acceptance of losing those people and then accepting that part of their loss is my fault and them being gone gives me more reason to keep going because I've got to do it for them.
Yeah. He's got to win these fights on behalf of all the people that are still left. And it's just like, bro, if you don't win, Mahito's just gonna keep dropping bodies. And it's just like Yuji got to the point where he's just playing with his food. He's just stalking Mahito while he's on the ground crying and crawling for his life. He's just like one footstep at a time on some Michael Myers shit. It's just like, Yuji, just finish your goddamn food, bro. This dude is a menace. You're going to wait long enough until he gets his energy back, and then he pulls some fast shit on you. And it's just like, Yuji, come on, bro.
I mean, that's what he's been doing the whole time. And I think that the Shibuya arc is where he learned that I can't be that happy-go-lucky kid. It's not. I can have my happy times, but I can't go easy on these cursed spirits because too many of them are gonna come back and do evil things, kill people later. Yep, no more smiles after this arc.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I wish there was kind of something similar like that for Tanjiro in a Demon Slayer world. But he learned his lesson really quick. He's just like, I gotta put these demons down or Innocent gonna get hurt. And Yuji just kept on holding on to it. He's just like, I'm not gonna finish you off. I just hope to knock you on your ass, and then we can go back to our mission to save Gojo. No, it doesn't work like that, Yuji. You're up against. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're up against Geto's number 2, so it's. Why would you spare him?
Not even Geto's number 2, Kenjaku's number 2.
Damn.
Because Kenjaku, sorry, as powerful as Geto was, Kenjaku was more powerful. Which is why Kenjaku. I want to know how Kenjaku killed Geto.
That's a good question.
How did he take over Geto?
I have a strong feeling that Geto might have died by the hands of Gojo, maybe. And then when they went to bury him, Kenjaku had access to his coffin or whatever he was in. Did they ever reveal that in the manga? There's a slight hint to it in Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie at the very, very end. But everything was off screen, so it's just like, damn.
Right, and that was the thing, is that maybe Gojo killed him there, but you kind of feel like Gojo did. Yeah, no, I don't think that. I think Gojo couldn't do it. I think that was part of the problem, is that he couldn't do it.
Yeah. If Gojo let go of his resolve right then and there in a moment, we have him to thank for all of this shit. But Kenjaku was going to get that body one way or another, so it's really we can't officially blame Gojo.
Oh, absolutely not. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know that. It was I had a theory that was really close to that Kenjaku just found the body and took it over. So that's fair enough. But man, it's God, like the meme that Michael posted in the group chat about Gege killing all the main characters is just like, what are we going to do to remedy this though? Like, because you put all this time and effort in letting us get to know them, and now they're half of them are incapacitated, one of them sealed, and the other one's probably going to get incapacitated or something.
We just don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that Yuji is going to pull something out here at the end, but what?
Yeah,
what's he going to pull out? What can he do against Sukuna? Nobody really can do much against him.
Yeah, Mahito had to make a
So,
whole contingency plan on using just his domain because he was like, "Yo, if you touch Sukuna, automatic death with that domain," and he had to work around it. He was like Sukuna would have probably have to find another body, but if he killed Yuji, then maybe not. But Mahito, we cannot allow him to get back at his full strength because then he'll just be a menace all over again, and it just defeats the purpose of fighting him in the first place. Because it's just like, bro, once he get a second chance, he's not going to get caught slipping again. So,
well, what do you? I mean, I don't remember for sure, but what do you think's going to happen next?
theoretically speaking, if Toto is still up in that and active in that fight, he's either going to plan an escape for the both of them, or they're both going to confront Mahito and Geto 2v2, and they're going to get fucking demolished.
Yeah, probably. Man, I totally don't remember, but I just have this feeling that Mahito's on the end of his thing, and isn't that what Ghetto's power is, to eat cursed spirits?
Yeah, so if
I mean,
eats him,
I'm like, idle transfiguration would be kind of a badass thing for Ghetto to have along with all his other shit, isn't it?
oh yeah, man, and Mahito's a special grade curse on a whole nother league. So
And he could just pull him out and throw him at somebody.
And let Mahito just run wild under his control for the rest of his life. It's just like, bro, you got too many in your arsenal as is already.
Right, right. So who do you mean, Will? Who ain't surviving this arc? Yuji's got something up his sleeve, especially after the leaks.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Are you talking about Mahito or Sukuna?
Yeah, are you referring to Toto? Like, who's not?
No, I don't think he's talking about Toto because he's talking about. He said something about Yuji too. He said Yuji's got something up his sleeves, especially after the leaks. Yeah, he ain't surviving this arc, trust me. So.
Oh, so Yuji's getting killed twice.
Is it Yuji's getting killed, or is it Sukuna, or what are you talking about, man? Explain this.
Come on with it. Get on that keyboard and press them buttons. Yeah, man, this is crazy, man. I don't. I'll have to review this a little bit more in depth the next opportunity I get. But man, this episode wasn't bad. I think my biggest complaint was that was it necessary that we needed Toto's imagination to stop Mahito in his place? He's like,
yeah, I didn't. That was, I think, it wasn't just his imagination; it was inspiration.
Yeah, it was so last second too, and it's just like, why? What on earth is making Mahito freeze? And what is there something hinting that Toto's imagination was the source of his jujutsu power, or what the hell is going on? Why?
Right. His infatuation with that idol has been since they introduced him. Like he ditched things to go to her concerts, ditched like tests and stuff, Jujutsu High tests to go to her concerts and all that. He like at one point he was at somewhere to get her autograph, an autograph signing, so he could meet her. You know, like he's been obsessed with her since the very first time they introduced him. So that is not unusual to me. The fact that it did something to Mahito, it looked like he punched him a bunch of times, but he only had one hand.
Yeah.
How was he punching him with? And the whole time he's punching him in the imagination, he's got two hands.
Yeah.
Right. Like, y'all forget?
Like, what the hell is going on? Like, if people were to get on the internet and rave about it, it'd be like, that is the textbook definition of an ass pull. I have no comeback for that. That the moment could have been the moment that Toto should have gotten sent to the gulag.
Yeah, but I'm glad he didn't. Toto's my favorite character, so
Love Toto.
yeah, I hope he gets the Boogie Woogie back.
Yeah, because he kind of gives me like Lemillion vibes from My Hero Academia when he lost his powers and he got it back temporarily and went way the fuck off.
Did he only get him back temporarily?
Yeah, I think Eri-chan gave him like some kind of boost or something. And
I thought she just gave him his powers back.
I could be wrong. I don't know if it was
I'm pretty sure he just got his power back. He came onto the battlefield like against I don't remember if it was One for All or
what is his name?
Togarashi Shigaraki.
Shigaraki, yeah.
I think it was Shigaraki that he attacked. Because he did that Lemillion punch where he drops down on the ground and shoots up and pow! Like, looks like Ryu from Street Fighter and shit. Right.
He had the Hadouken.
Shoryuken.
Lemillion showed up and he showed out. I mean, Toto is literally like him. He's upperclassman, not exactly same school but different school. And Toto is just like when you can count on him, the main character knows he's clutch. And he showed up and he did what he had to do.
For sure. Yep. So I would have to say that I once again I'd be putting that up at around an 8.5 for the episode.
Yeah, I get that. It's somewhere I'm back and forth between 8 and 8.5.
Yeah.
I'm in a mental space where the older episodes before this one were better, but this was still pretty entertaining. Besides the ass pull that I didn't know I didn't need. So,
who do we think would win between Mahito and Shigaraki? Are we talking Shigaraki when he started or when he awakened his power? Because if it's when he awakened his power, I mean, Shigaraki. I mean, he just touched the wall and destroy everything to where Mahito is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, his power is, like, ridiculous. But if we're talking, like, early season Shigaraki where he has to touch him, I think that Mahito would get him then. Because I think Mahito would. I don't think Shigaraki got like any kind of physical boost till later.
Yeah.
My camera's stuck. What's up with that?
It definitely froze for. Still froze, but audio's coming in good. Yeah, Mahito has definitely the combat experience. The way he's able to just fend off damn near anybody that he gets into a fight with. And he has like all these reserve attacks, these reserve transfigured people. And then he even has this trump card where he transforms into this armored special grade curse. And it's just like, God, man, it took the world and then some to take him down. And Yuji just fumbled that bag. So it was like, God, he goes back to 100% full strength and energy. Call it a wrap. You got Sukuna, Kenjaku, and him. The three of them together will probably be enough to shut down the whole planet. So he's a total menace. Mahito would definitely get the dub on that, unless it was the awakened Shigaraki. Then you probably wouldn't even get close enough to land a hit.
Yeah, that's what I kind of felt too.
Yeah,
Is that like if it's Shigaraki from later, he gonna fuck him up. But if it's Shigaraki from early on, Mahito's got it. He'll just punch him in the face and knock him across the way, touch him once, and you know
yeah.
he's
Shigaraki
got.
can pretty much. His power right now allows him to run the gauntlet with JJK. I don't know how far he'd get in the gauntlet, but it probably stopped right at Sukuna.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know that he could. Well, I mean, I guess it. You know what I'm going to say is that depends on if he's like, are we talking about where he's at right now? Because I don't think he's fully got control of uh, One for All right now. Does
Yeah,
he?
he's at a disadvantage right now. I think he's recovering, and they still need to finish like whatever processing that they were doing to him when he was in that tank. Uh, so they got to finish that. He's got to heal from the damages, and then there's a whole lot of other stuff that I guess that goes into it. But yeah, Shigaraki definitely has some similarities between him and Mahito. Mahito's versatility and his creativity makes him just one of the most dangerous characters in the game. But he's not. He's still not celestial or astronomical or what do you call that? I'll call it celestial for now. He's not on that altitude of
No.
fighting.
Right. There's planetary and then universal. Then like he's not a cosmic level threat. He's not
Cosmic boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not that kind of power level, but and I'm not even going to say I don't know that he's got the power to destroy the planet.
Yeah. It, Shigaraki does have the power to destroy the planet. So
Oh, he does.
yeah.
How does he have the power to destroy the planet?
When he touched the ground in Japan and he pretty much almost took out like the entire city. Like if he had that amplified, if the pro heroes didn't interrupt his process in that little tank, then he probably would have came out full power and with no limitations. But as he is now, with one for all possessing him, he still got his limits and he got some weaknesses that I think the pro heroes are trying to exploit. And that could eventually lead to his downfall. I don't know how far or how many events occurred in the manga, but in the anime, the way he is now, there's definitely a workaround to beating him.
He's definitely progressed further now. The manga is kind of I'll be honest. I should give spoiler warnings before I say anything because if you want to know about it, I'll tell you. But I don't know that everybody wants to know what's going on with My Hero Academia at this point. But I do believe that in the newest issue, Bakugo killed One for All. Great Murder Explosion God, my dog.
God damn. That's Will's favorite character too.
He can't be. Get off my Kool-Aid, Will.
Dang. Kenpachi just stole your dude.
He's been my favorite since I started watching, man. Like, his attitude was my attitude for a long time. Like, my online attitude is much different than my in-person attitude. I'm a very happy, jolly person, like in person. But like I was playing games, and like my attitude in the game, I was the leader or a
Mhm.
captain all the time. And so I was the guy that they chose to go jump on people because I was like, they're like, hey man, you don't have a problem saying anything. And I'm like, you know, you're right. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll go say whatever you want. And yeah, I got in trouble. Like I said something about it in chat the other day. Uh, that I got in trouble because I went and cussed somebody out, and I was in a cluster that had a whole bunch of alliances in it, and I
Yeah.
was in one alliance, and I had a lot of like admin permissions and stuff, and I went into another alliance's chat and cussed somebody out who was cussing somebody else out, and I said a lot of really mean things. I
Yeah.
first off, I didn't know it was a girl, and she really took offense that I called her a bitch. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and I just said back to her that I mean, it got worse, but I was like, I mean, what do you expect? You're behind a keyboard. I didn't know you were actually a bitch. And it did not go over well. That's all I'm saying. And I said other things too. But she told one of my friends to go sit down and shut up. And I was like, no.
You sit down and shut up, bitch.
Bitch.
Bitch. You said that? I looked into the windows of her soul.
And then they're floating through space. I did.
Said, bitch.
I played that for Holden, my 14-year-old,
Man.
like last week sometime.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a saying that me and Will do. Me and Blake are doing it now. It's just like it's contagious.
Oh yeah, and there for a while the Khaleesi, the
They're kind of easy.
Khaleesi. Oh man. Oh, I'm on here by myself. So yeah, Key and Peele's pretty cool. I like them. Uh,
I don't
you're
know.
back.
Yeah, I got to boot it out.
You got booted.
I said, what?
See, don't be fucking with the gods, man. The internet gods, they will get you.
Man, I done did something to piss them off.
You did. You did. Oh. Well, man, I'm going to say it is 20 after 6. Let's go ahead and bring this to a close. Do you want to give some shout outs and tell us what all the rest of SNN's got coming up before we go?
Absolutely. This Saturday, the final show of the year with the main podcast, at least. It is the season 3 finale of Saturday Night Nerds live streaming podcast. We're is season 3, episode 12. The original 4, me, Thomas, Cameron, Will, should all be in full attendance, and we're gonna be talking about some Godzilla.
Ooh.
So this we got -1 in theaters. You got the Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong comics that's been out. You got the new movie that's coming out in February with Godzilla and Kong. It's basically a buddy cop movie where our two favorite monsters.
Scar King.
Oh, and Scar King.
Ooh.
And I think there was one more thing. Oh, Monarch Legacy of Monsters. That's on Apple Plus TV.
Right,
Incredible
right.
TV show.
And in that Kong Godzilla movie, you saw he's got the Infinity Gauntlet, right? So that's like an
Yeah.
MCU movie too.
It might be canon because right now Godzilla just whooped everybody in DC. So we'll see if they come over to Marvel and whoop everybody too. So
I mean, you got the Infinity Gauntlet. They got to do something with them, right?
Yeah, the possibilities are endless, man. Yeah, 6:30 p.m. Central this Saturday. You can see all our announcements and updates and the events about it to get further details. And then stay tuned after the season finale for further updates about season 4, which debuts in January 2024.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
man! I'm looking forward to hearing y'all talk about -1. I haven't got to see it yet, so
So damn good.
that's what I keep hearing from everybody. Like, I
Yeah,
haven't heard a single person say a bad thing about it.
that was
So
peak cinema, man. Peak cinema.
nice, nice. I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't going to be part of the MonsterVerse. I like the MonsterVerse they got going on. I wouldn't say they're the best movies, but they're good for what they are. I mean, I remember watching the old Godzilla movies, and I think these are far and away better than those old Godzilla movies.
Yeah,
Even though I loved the old, you know, Space Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla and
yeah.
all that stuff.
Classics.
It was amazing. Classics.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way that they've got the CGI and they can do it nowadays, that is so much more clean. I really, but I was surprised that -1 wasn't a part of that universe. It's going back to more of the old kind of Godzilla.
OG.
Yeah, is what it's supposed to be. So I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it.
Yeah, -1 is damn near a retelling of the very first Godzilla movie because humans meet Godzilla for the first time. Godzilla wrecks like 3 different islands or countries, and then everybody's like, "We've had enough. Let's figure out how to kill this guy." And by the way, you don't kill him, so you can't kill him. So it's my -1 just was just a rabbit hole at the very beginning. So
Nice, nice.
you guys
Well,
can
I'll
handle.
let you. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. I was gonna say I'll let you talk about it on Saturday. Won't make you talk about it too much more.
yeah. If you guys can handle 2 hours worth of subtitles, this movie's for you.
So that's on Saturday.
Yeah,
You got that going on, right?
yeah,
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Anything else?
yeah. We're supposed to be doing a late nights episode, but I have absolutely no idea when this late nights episode is going live. So I will get with Will, and then we'll make announcements to support that.
Right,
Once we
right.
once we get the official answer on that, and then as of course, SNN War next Thursday for another heaping helping of anime reviews.
Absolutely. All
Well,
right.
that's all I got.
Well, then let's call it a.
Uh oh.
Oops. it's
Camera's trying to get
uh,
away from you.
it is, man. I'm gonna have to find a better way to set my camera up because, it's still all new to me, and I'm trying to get it working better. But thanks for everybody coming out to watch, coming out to talk to us. Get in the comments if you got anything you want to talk about. Type them in down there, and we'll chat them up while we're here. But that's all I've got for today. Have a good night, Deontay.
You guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.